Hi everybody. So in the last video we finished building out the basic structure of the form, and so we actually have a button that could submit the form, um, and we can type stuff into the form, and we can put an email, and we can hit submit, and stuff disappears. A little question mark pops up, and great, not the best. Um, And just as a quick side note, in addition to it, the form element has the built-in functionality that any input inside of the form that you hit enter on will also submit the form. So you can hit enter or click submit. But again, not useful. We actually want to somehow collect that data in some way. And so that leads to the last important attribute for inputs, and so that is the name attribute. And so the name attribute takes in a value that will be used to send that information on submission. And so if we put name equals name, and so you'll see kind of a common pattern, the ID and the name will often match. And for this one, name equals email. Now let's get rid of this, refresh the page, and now let's try typing in the name and the email. So we hit submit. Notice now that we're submitting, and that question mark now has a name equals what I typed into it, and an email. So and email equals, and then the email I typed. And so we talked about that. This is a query string, and the form's behavior for a GET request. So this works for a GET request. A GET request is going to take those elements, those input elements, and build a query string with their name attributes. So we've got name equals name equals email. So this value here is actually what is put in the query string. So we have question mark name, that's the value I gave to the name attribute for this input, and email. And just to show you, I'm not crazy, if we made a third one here, let's say for password, password. So now I have let's make the type equal password too. That's not always the case. You don't have a type name, but there is a password type for inputs. And so if we now have this third one, and we hit submit, you'll watch, so we have name, email, and then we should get and password at the end there. Perfect. So we have and password equals the gibberish that I typed in. So for a GET request, this information is passed via a query string that is built from the name attributes of our inputs. Okay, and so you might notice an immediate weakness of, hey Michael, I don't really want my password to show up in the URL when I hit submit. That seems kind of not safe. I can see the actual value typed in. Very true. So what you also have instead of a GET request is a POST request. And so if I refresh this and bring back just HTML, and type some gibberish. Now when I hit submit, there is no question mark because we're not forming a query string with the information. And so in a POST request, that information is sent hidden to the server, and is processed in a hidden way. So post requests are more secure and will often be used for things like logins. So that's the end of building out an HTML form basic. So in the next videos, we'll actually put this form in Paizo Cloud and show how we can actually use PHP to interact with that information and do stuff with it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.